Steeler Nation, welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. As you heard with the news today, that is Justin Tucker has been released by the Baltimore Ravens. So in this episode, I wanted to go over some of Chris Boswell's stats because a lot of times in the NFL, when Justin Tucker was a part of the Ravens, he was always proclaimed as the best kicker in the NFL by far. Many fans always forgot about Chris Boswell, even though the stats were quite similar. Now, the news was breaking today that the Ravens had cut Justin Tucker, or Justin Tugger, however you may, phrase his name at the moment, because he's in a bit of mischief, a bit of strife. The report is now that Tucker has been in off-field controversy as 16 massage therapists from 8 different Baltimore spa and wellness centers have accused him of inappropriate behavior from the alleged incidents between 2012 and 2016. Now, I'm not saying he did it. I'm not saying he didn't do it. But it's a bit like the Deshaun Watson saga as well, with over 24, 28 ladies coming out of the woodwork saying, okay, this happened. But there's a reason why Baltimore have definitely moved on from Tucker, because something's obviously happened and it's very tough to get out of your own way in this scenario. But everyone's talking about Tucker, about he could be, going to the Hall of Fame and all these kind of things, but he's on the out. Now, Adam Schefter put this out, the news update was saying they've released him and started to go over all his stats. Schefter said here, Tucker's career in Baltimore is 8 times Pro Bowler, 8 times All-Pro, 7 times Pro Bowler, NFL 2010 All-Decade Team, longest field goal in NFL history, 66 yards. That was versus the Lions. 417 field goals out of 468. Highest career field goal percentage in NFL history, 89.1%. I'll let you know the guys this though, right? Chris Boswell is 88%. Now, there's a good chance that Chris Boswell could jump in front because he's going to have I think he's going to have a better career than Tucker. Tucker's career is pretty much done because he's going through all the drama, and then that's his own doing. And there's a lot of, sexual assaults and misconduct that happen at these massage parlors. It's not good, right? There's even now a story out there that Devin Bush got arrested for something, some really bad, some assault he happened or whatever it may be. It's not good. So Tucker is in a lot of trouble, but it made me think. Let's give some praise to Chris Boswell. Now, Chris Boswell, I saw this tweet online, and it was via B-Wall here. He says here, Chris Boswell, appreciation post, no agenda, just greatness. 88% career field goal percentage, 4th all time. 95% career extra point percentage. 43 field goals from 50 yards plus. 1,100 total points scored. 1 times first team All-Pro. 2 times Pro Bowler. 1 TD pass. And the biggest thing is 0 scandals, just ice in his veins. Chris Boswell has been a part of this team for what? Now, 10 years, almost into 2016. He was an undrafted guy. I think one of the other bloke went down. I think Sweden, he went down, and the Steelers were going through 3 or 4 or 5 kickers or whatever it was. Finally got Chris Boswell. They landed him, stuck him. Now, also Chris Boswell, he's one of my favorites, by the way, Wizard of Boz. His contract in the new year on 2025, he's going to be 34 years of age. He'll be with the team this year and next year. And if the Steelers are smart, and what they should do is sign him for another contract, sign him for another 4 or 5 years to try and compete, win championships, win playoff games, but also catch up to Gary Anderson. If you go to the NFL leading point scorers, career leaders, right, from the past 100 years or whatever it is, Adam Vinatieri, he has 2,673 points, number 1. Morton Anderson has 2,544. Gary Anderson, who played for 5 teams, including the Steelers for a long time, he has 2,434. Now, with Gary Anderson, he was a Steelers kicker. He's now 65 and probably retired. He was a Steelers kicker back in the day, and he played from 1982 all the way down to 1994. And remember, guys, I started watching football in 2002. Now, with Gary Anderson, in terms of points, with the Steelers, he has here, I think he has, about 1,400. So with the Steelers, he has something like that, 1,343 points. and Chris Boswell has 1,100. So Chris Boswell has a chance to become the all-time scoring leader with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and also not be surrounded all that drama. So I know everyone's talking about the Tucker thing, the update. Ravens move on. They call it a football decision. They're moving on from him, but really, it's not a football decision. It's more of a you're cut right now. You've got to go sort your life out, sort out your drama, sort out all the allegations coming your way. See you later. Thanks for your time, and moving on from Tucker. You got to go sort out all these different 16 cases from the women who are coming in. And not saying he's right or wrong, 100%. Not saying I'm not blaming him, but it's still a lot of drama behind that. Go sort that out. We'll cut you. And now we're going to play the new kicker that is Tyler Loop or someone like that. I don't know, the Ravens new kicker. I saw it in the Tyler Loop in the 6th round of this year's draft. So that's one big thing too, is for when we're versing the Ravens, Steelers versus Ravens, right? Lamar Jackson moves down the field, gets him to about the 40, 45, 40-yard line. Tucker used to be automatic, but last year he went through, I think, a lot of maybe because of the allegations and on his mind, he had a really bad year last year. It was really terrible. I think he missed a lot of kicks, but everyone still talked about that Tucker was going to be the best kicker, the Hall of Fame kicker, all these things. You've always seen him as number one in the NFL, and then Chris Boswell is like back further, and they're not really talked about that much. Justin Tucker in the NFL is 16 of all time, 1,700 points with the Ravens and 12-year career. Just played a lot of games, and now his Hall of Fame pitch is really on the line because the NFL doesn't like this kind of stuff. When you're involved in these allegations, these scandals, the NFL kind of moves on. Now, last year for Tucker, I think he had one of his worst years. He had 96%. It says here 90. Where is it? Field goal percentage. No, it was really bad. He had 73%. Really bad. And that was field goals attempt 30, and he got 22. So he missed 8 field goals. And the year before that, he had 37 attempts, and he missed 6. So he's been on the decline since about 2021. And now Tucker, he does lead the league in 89%, but many will forget. Steel fans know this. Chris Boswell is the Wizard of Boz at 88%, and Justin Tucker's 89%. Only 1% difference. However, they're all going to talk about Tucker being one of the greatest kickers of all time, yada, 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 and now he has a scandal. But Chris Boswell is sitting there at 88% and has a better 50 plus percentage than, or field goals made from 50 plus more than Justin Tucker. So remember that. When you're still a fan, we know this, right? We understand that Chris Boswell means so much to the organization. He's one of the fan favorites. People yell at Wizard of Boz. I pray for the Wizard. Every time on live stream, I close my eyes and pray for the Wizard. Hopefully that goes over. Chris Boswell has got 1,127 points. Chris Boswell is 54th on the kicking or scoring overall. And I'm hoping he signs another deal, and I hope that he can sign a deal with the Steelers, get more Pro Bowl. I know Pro Bowls don't mean too much. Maybe all pros, maybe win a few playoff games. Chris Boswell is, he's got 1,100 points, and his percentage down to a T, because Tucker's one was 89.1. I think it says here that he is 88. In scoring, he's 80. I'm just looking up now. 88. I can't find it. I'm using Pro Football Reference. One moment. Yes, he is 88 point something percentage, right? So only 1% difference, and you'll see the debate often in the last few years. Justin Tucker is the best kicker in the NFL. But when you really think about it, and I go back to that same post I just brought up before, Chris Boswell needs more appreciation. 88%, 95% extra point, 43 field goals on 50 yards plus. He's an absolute bomb. 1 TD pass and 0 scandals. Where the other guy is going through, 8 massage parlors, 16 women. Not saying he did it, not saying he didn't do it, but still the scandal around that is pretty effing crazy, right? Chris Boswell doesn't have that. He's got, I think, 2 kids or whatever, a wife, lives in Pittsburgh. He's chilling. Nice bloke, what you see from the outside. Lines up, number 9, 45 yards out. Pray for the Wizard. and the ball goes over. That's what we've got to get behind. Steelers fans know that he's number one over Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker's going for all this crazy crap right now. Don't worry about that. Chris Boswell, he should be the number one kicker in the NFL, but they'll find someone else. The NFL will find someone else to root for or try and make believe they're number one in the NFL. But Chris Boswell is so underrated, and other teams don't know how good he is based on his stats. Sign him up to another new contract next year. He got 2 years on his contract, 2025, 2026. Chris Boswell is chasing down now Gary Anderson. All right, Steel Nation. That's all I want to do. I saw that tweet, and I was like, I want to bring this up. I want to talk about it. I want to give Chris Boswell all the love that he deserves. And he's a Pittsburgh Steeler through and through, undrafted guy. He's done really well for the 10-year career starting back in 2015. Now in 2024, almost turning 34 years of age, played 150 games. He's got extra points made, 311, field goals made, 272. So we've prayed for the Wizard 272 times. He's at 1,127 points for his career, and points per game 7.5. There's many times too that Chris Boswell, he has won games in the past just by kicking field goals. I think it was against the Chiefs that 1 year in the playoffs. There was of course, the Falcons game and the Ravens game, 18-0. There was a famous quote he said, "We didn't win because of you," calling out Matt Canada. Chris Boswell is an absolute legend, and I want to give him all the appreciation over why people are talking about Justin Tucker and his massage rumors and all this stuff and the allegations and people and women coming out. And yes, it's if he's done it, it's very wrong. But did he do it or didn't do it? Who knows? That's for the court to decide. But I wanted to give a big shout out to Chris Boswell, man. Number nine, the Wizard of Boz. Like I said, he's just been an awesome player for us. I can't wait to see him have an even better year this year, going into next year. It even says here on his bio, throws right-handed because he threw that one touchdown, right? Chris Boswell is an absolute legend. And now in the NFL, Chris Boswell is the number one kicker.